I'm going to tell you something you already know, and it's that we're overwhelmed with choice, and this has led to an abundance of riches that just kind of leaves us always in a state of trying to figure out what to do. Sophia Rosen wrote a book called The Age of Choice, and she calls this choice idolatry. She writes, and I quote, that we are wrapped up with our sense of self and our ability to make our own satisfying choices with a minimum of impediments from among a range of options. And she basically uses this choice idolatry to describe the fact that there are endless doors and endless possibilities for us in the U.S. and in most of the Western world. It's too much to go through. Like, there are too many things we can do to express ourselves and live a happy, free, joyful life. And we have to spend a ton of our time now trying to figure out just which option to choose. And it's overwhelming. Now, this is a sign of riches in the eyes of the world. You may not feel rich, and you may not be as rich as a lot of people that you know, but if you're watching this, you have a computer or a phone, and you have certain technology at your fingertips that much of the world does not have. And so if you look at it in the grand scheme, we're all rich to some degree. Now, consider that as you hear this. This is James chapter 2. He writes, "Listen, my dear brothers and sisters, has God not chosen those who are poor in the eyes of the world to be rich in faith and to inherit the kingdom he promised to those who love him?" Fascinating. You see, we are at a distinct disadvantage because of the options and the availability of stuff that we have at our fingertips. With Cam, our 8-year-old, the possibility of toys and games and characters and additions to his iPad games, endless to all of our kids. There are almost too many things for them to do. This is abundance, and it's overwhelming, and it leaves us just sort of stuck. We're just sort of standing there going, I don't know which one to do. Meanwhile, the rest of the real world is suffering incredibly. The reason that we're not able to think about it and focus on it is because we're so overwhelmed with self. The world has been set up for this, at least for the consumeristic culture that we often find ourselves in today. So this is an example of how the scripture calls us to think differently and see differently with the eyes of the Lord. And he reminds us that it is the poor in the eyes of the world who will inherit the faith. We will be rich in faith. So we're at this distinct disadvantage. So I ask you this. Of all the stuff that you consume, of all the options that you have at your fingertips, overwhelming often, do you find yourself actually unhappy and unfulfilled? Could it possibly be that there are things that you're looking for in this world that are available to you that are trying to fill the God-shaped hole, the God-shaped vacuum that the great philosopher talked about so many years ago in your soul? It's possible. In fact, it's even likely. We're set up for it. So we must, as followers of Jesus, see our riches not in stuff and options, but in him. It's only in him. And if we do that, we will realize his graciousness and his generosity to us, and then that flows through us to others and actually changes the world, because the world doesn't need more stuff. The world needs grace. The world needs mercy. The world needs faith. The world needs Jesus, and it's your job to carry him to wherever you go today as RadCast.